I think this morning is when I actually find out my fate, whether I'm going to keep my job or be laid off. So we shall see.
I found out this week that the other company that I had an offer with laid off their entire North America sales team.
I can't believe I'm making this video 3-4 years in, but apparently we need another reminder. Folks, if you have been spared during a layoff, don't make a TikTok about it.
So I'm about to call my mortgage lender and tell them that I've been laid off.
I have some bad news. Your employment at Meta is terminated.
All right, now we know why Mark Zuckerberg was so quick to say that these were performance-based cuts and not a mass layoff.
Mass layoffs are crushing the US, and TikTok is furious. From heartbreaking stories to calls for change, we're breaking down the rants you need to hear. Let's start with the first rant.
It is crazy to me that in 2025, organizations are still conducting mass layoffs through communication channels such as email or all-hand meetings through Zoom. After all the research that has been done on leadership, employee well-being, and the negative effects of layoffs, and this is what we're doing, it should not be the norm for an employee to wake up to an email letting them know that they have been affected by mass layoffs. This is a negative event in an individual's life, and it deserves a chance to have a one-on-one meeting. That individual deserves a chance to sit down and ask questions in a comfortable environment and understand why this is happening. If employers spent as much time with compassionate layoffs as they do letting everyone know that we're a family, the workplace would be such a better place.
It's been 3 hours since I got laid off from work. I got the email on my way to work on the bus. I'm going to the office at 3 p.m. for an official call, and I refused to be in the office, so I got off the bus and cried at the bus stop for like half an hour on the phone with a friend while waiting for my husband to come and find me. That's the reality of being laid off. It's the fourth one that I've witnessed since 2020, the second one that I've been a part of. So there is some PTSD there, and I'm really trying to take it positively. But, I'm jobless. Good news is I'm available for work. If you want me to do content creation, I'll do it. I'll do it for not much money. If you want me to do content marketing, content strategy, I am available. I will say yes. I'm here to help. Just to chat and reach out and connect, I'm happy to do it too. Just know that I'll be very free the next few months, and I'm freaking out.
Okay, so companies are out here laying people off via email now? Like, hey, sorry you dedicated years of your life here, but you're fired. Sincerely, HR. Bro, that's colder than my ex's heart. At least have the decency to tell me face to face so I can dramatically flip a table or something. But no, they hit you with the Dear John email while you're in your pajamas eating cereal. Honestly, if I get laid off by email, I'm replying all with thanks, but this breakup is mutual. I'm done with this BS, man.
It says right here, your performance meets most expectations. I have some bad news. Your employment at Meta is terminated, effective immediately. What? Performance? That sounds kind of BS. Are you sure this wasn't DEI related? Let me look at your file. Oh, so that isn't just a tan. Seems like we should have fired you 2 months ago. What the hell? Okay, Zuck, listen. I helped build out the AI agents that are replacing me right now. Doesn't that seem a bit unfair? No, those systems will be in good hands. We're hiring a bunch of machine learning engineers to take over from here. Okay, but what happens when they finish their job? Are you gonna fire them too? That's not really up to me. It's up to the AI overlords to decide. Oh my god, all those late nights spent up working for nothing. Did I mention the AI models have approved you for 6 months of severance pay? Okay, Zuck, you should have started with that.
All right, now we know why Mark Zuckerberg was so quick to say that these were performance-based cuts and not a mass layoff. It's because if they did another mass layoff, they would not be able to do their H-1B visa, their certification, the labor certification for perm, because they actually had green cards blocked for a long time because of these mass layoffs. However, if they call it performance-based, even though we know it's not, then they will not get their green cards blocked. So I would encourage anyone who has been impacted by the latest round of layoffs, if you have copies of your performance reviews, if you have any other evidence, definitely go to attorneys. But unfortunately, in the current environment that we are in, I feel like Mark Zuckerberg thinks he's pretty confident he's going to get away with this. So.
Okay, so Meta just mass laid off employees because they didn't meet performance criteria, and this guy who literally helped build their AI got replaced by the AI he created. Bro, that's like building a robot to do your chores, and then it kicks you out of your own house. Imagine spending years coding the future, only for the future to say, thanks, but we don't need you anymore. Now he's out here like, I built Skynet, and Skynet fired me. Meta's out here playing 4D chess while the rest of us are just trying not to get replaced by a toaster. It's over for us.
You guys want to know some crazy news? So if you remember, after I spent months trying to, I didn't realize I had deodorant stains on my shirt. Anyway, months trying to find a job. When I finally got offers, I had 2 offers at the same time. I found out this week that the other company that I had an offer with laid off their entire North America sales team this week, which means if I had taken that job, it would be 6 months later and I would be laid off again. I am so thankful that I am not in that position again right now. Like, I am gonna go find some wood to knock on, because you never fucking know what'll happen. But luckily, like, my company's in a position right now where we're hiring people. We just hired a new manager. We're hiring a couple more AEs, and I feel like there's strategic hires. It's not just like, oh, we have a bigger number, we need to fucking hire people like tech used to do. I just can't imagine if I right now had just found out this week that I had been laid off again. Like, I think I would have like an actual mental breakdown. Like, send me to a psych ward, mental breakdown.
I can't believe I'm making this video 3-4 years in, but apparently we need another reminder. Folks, if you have been spared during a layoff, don't make a TikTok about it. Don't post on LinkedIn about it. And please, especially don't talk about how disillusioning this is for you, how stressful this is for you, how burdened you feel because other folks in your team have been let go, or how you can't focus because you're so anxious because your colleagues have been let go, and how can you emotionally be present for your job right now. Right now, it's not about you. Of course, let your close friends and family know that you're okay, but let them know in private. You don't get a platform today. You don't deserve a platform today. Other folks need that. So, process in private with your close friends and family. Do not post on social about how you've been spared your layoff.
Okay, so this girl's out here telling people not to post about getting spared in mass layoffs on social media. And honestly, she's spitting facts. Like, congrats. You survived the Hunger Games of corporate America, but maybe don't rub it in while your coworkers are updating their LinkedIn with open to work. It's like dodging a bullet and then doing a victory dance in front of the people who got hit. Keep it low key, fam. Celebrate with a quiet glass of wine, not a TikTok dance.
How you get fired on your day off? And happy Lover's Day to all, my dog punching me in the stomach. Happy Lover's Day to everyone celebrating Valentine's Day. Shout out to you. Okay, now back to the story. I come in from buying groceries. Today is technically my day off. Check my work phone randomly, which is something that I typically don't do. And I see an email from HR. Come again, say what? Now, mind you, I started working for the federal government in October 2024. It is now February 2025, so less than 12 months. Technically, I'm on probation. Okay, cool, whatever. We know that, understand that. We can do the math. However, it's important to note my performance has been stellar. Okay, your girl don't play when it comes to collecting the check. She gonna do and give what need to be gave so they can give what need to be give. Okay? Performance stellar. It's important to note. Back to the email. So I see the email, HR, notification, termination, all this I'm seeing from my phone. So I'm like, okay, let me open up my laptop. Boom, open up the laptop, still got access. Thank you, Jesus. And I see the full notice, like memo, 2-page, whoop, whoop, hey, blah, 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 today's your last day, yada, yada, yada. But they're terminating me due to performance related. Get the out of here. Side note, for all federal employees, they do that so that you don't qualify for unemployment. Just clock that. Now, I can't say that I wasn't anticipating it or that it was a shock, because it wasn't. If y'all been tuning into social media or the news, you've seen all the changes that have been happening with the new administration coming in and him just essentially gutting the federal workforce. So I knew it was coming. And as a result of me knowing it was coming, as a result of me seeing the writing on the wall, I had already been getting my ducks in a row since like November. Mind you, at that point, I was probably 3-4 weeks into the position. So needless to say, I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know when. And it's crazy that they fired me on my day off. I feel like Craig or Smokey, whichever one it was. It's just funny to me. Now, I will say, in all seriousness, this is why I stress being financially prepared, having an emergency savings, because I literally can have a conversation with my supervisor from a position of calm, from a position of like, okay, what are the next steps in terms of offboarding? Just very collected, because I know financially I'm okay, right? Like, I'm not rich by any means, but I know for a certain number of months, as a result of me having healthy, money habits, spending habits, savings habits, etc., I'll be good, right? And I know on top of like the financial aspect, your girl is skilled. Your girl competencies is up there, right? So I don't think it will be an issue, knock on wood, for me to find something else. And I want to say to everyone that I work with, if, just so happen to see this, I really enjoy working with you. Everyone that I travel with, I really enjoy traveling with you and learning more about you. But I will say, taking a step back, coming from consulting and then coming from tech, federal government just wasn't for me. So I think, honestly, this is like glass half full. What's meant for you is meant for you, and it's going to find you. And if it ain't meant for you, he going to see to it that you ain't doing it no more.
So I'm about to call my mortgage lender and tell them that I've been laid off and I'm unemployed and I need some type of financial assistance. So let's see what they say and how this conversation goes, because I've never had to make a call like this before.
Thank you for calling your mortgage servicing center. Thank you for calling your customer care center. How may I help you today?
Yeah, I was recently laid off from my job and I wanted to, discuss like any type of financial assistance that's offered.
Looks like your account is current and due for March 1st. Account, again, like I stated, is current. So you would need to, if you're unable to make I think you already paid for March, February. So yeah, so when you're unable to pay like for the next month and you go delinquent for 30 days, then at that time, they would be able to offer some type of assistance, and I can get you over to loss mitigation or collections, and they would help assist with that. But being that your account is current, there are no options for early prevention, unfortunately.
So it would be like 1 month late on payments before any options would be available.
Yeah, once you're not able to make a 30-day payment within that month, we have to get you over to those departments anyway. So, yeah. Okay. Then they will be able to tell you what options you will have.
Okay. So that's not what I was, I didn't know I have to be delinquent or like not be able to pay for a month. I guess that makes sense. That was not the response that I was hoping for. I don't know. I don't know what happens if I'm delinquent on a payment. So basically they were saying like if I don't pay for a month, then I would have some type of financial assistance, or they could tell me what options I would have. But I don't know how not paying for a month would affect the rest of my financial life, like my credit score. I guess that's what I'm talking about. Like, would that not hurt my credit score? Which at this point, I don't know if that should be that big of a concern. But a late payment, I think, is like a really big deal to your credit score, and that's like one of the worst things you can do to like really drop your credit and it stay dropped, because I think a late payment stays on your credit score for a while.
Mass General Brigham has laid off hundreds of employees, with a second wave of layoffs expected any day now. And this is super important because they're not only the state's largest healthcare system, but also the state's largest employer. Hi, I'm Penny Commit. Here's the Boston Tea. It's Tuesday, February 11th. So this all comes after the hospital system announced a budget shortfall of $250 million. Mass General Brigham employs over 82,000 people across several hospitals, and they say they're not laying off any clinical or patient-facing positions. Sources tell WBZ that they're starting with a redundancy in middle administrative roles, but nurses we spoke with say this will still cause a trickle-down effect. They're still going to be left doing more work, and work that's not really their responsibility, or shouldn't be. We're told that Brigham and Women's and Mass General Hospital are taking the bulk of these cuts, and that those people that are being laid off are being offered severance packages. Now, you may remember another reason this is a big deal is because over the summer, 2 hospitals closed, the Neshoba Valley Medical Center and Kearney Hospital in Dorchester. The nurses at MGB said that they've had to kind of take on all of those patients. They're already stretched thin. Now they're going to have to take on an even bigger workload. One nurse told us, quote, "I walk through the emergency room and it's wall-to-wall people." She also says, "We're getting calls all throughout the state, so it is a shocker to me that they're reporting a loss or even an impending loss." The hospital system did respond with a quote. I'll read you part of it. They pretty much defended their decision and then said, "The steps we are taking now to evolve our organization will play a critical role in ensuring that Mass General Brigham continues to lead, innovate, and transform the future of healthcare for the benefit of everyone." And of course, this opens up a broader question. What is the state of healthcare, not only in Massachusetts, but across the country? Why is it so fragile? A lot of experts tell us that the healthcare industry is in for a reckoning. Again, a second round of layoffs expected any day. We're not sure how many people or what positions, but we'll keep you posted at WBZ.com.
Okay, so these 3 videos talking about the same thing. They got laid off, ranting about how they're supposed to buy groceries, pay the mortgage, and, exist. Bro, I felt that. One day you're adulting like a pro, and the next you're Googling how to survive on instant noodles for a month. Like, how am I supposed to pay bills when my bank account looks like it's on a diet? And don't even get me started on groceries. Why does a bag of chips cost the same as my first car? Honestly, if I survive this, I'm adding financial Houdini to my resume.
I'm a senior level federal employee and hiring manager who accepted the deferred resignation. I had a feeling that even though the timeline was extended, as soon as the judge lifted the block, it would be cut off immediately, and that's exactly what happened. So for those of you who were on the fence, you lost your window of opportunity. Now we're finding out that last night there was a mandate sent out to release all probationary employees that affects about 200,000 employees. These jobs may go away, but the requirement for these job functions will not. And so what these government agencies are going to do, and I've already been told, is to seek contractor support in order to still complete these functions. What does that mean? If you are a federal employee who is affected or is set to be affected, get your resume ready and get information out there to notify these defense contractors that you are available, you're ready, and you come with the skill set and the knowledge that they're going to need in order to bid on these contracts. Don't panic. Don't fall into the victim mindset. Take your power back. Bet on you. I'm telling you, these defense contractors are already gearing up to fill the void that is being left by federal employees. Take your skill set and move over to the private sector. Many of you will still be able to do the same job, but as a contractor. I hate to say it, but that's just how the government works.
People need to understand the impact that all of these federal employee layoffs are having. I live in Northern Virginia. I run my own business where I do academic and executive functioning coachings for kids age 6 to 16. And I do advocacy work as well for families and helping them bridge gaps with the schools and making sure schools are providing special education services. And over half of the kids that I work with, their parents are federal employees because I live in Northern Virginia. And today I had a mom come drop her kid off, and she said, both my husband and I might lose our jobs in the next few weeks, and we're not exactly sure how we're going to be paying for things anymore. So obviously our daughter won't be coming. And I said, okay, I understand. I'm really sorry you're going through that, because what am I going to say? They're about to lose everything. Not because they're bad employees. They're both very good at what they do, but because they're clearing house. So their daughter is not going to get the academic services that she needs. And they're not going to be paying their bills. But then because she's not here, that means that's money also out of my pocket, right? Because I have quite a few kids that this is going to impact. So then, since I'm not seeing them anymore and I'm not getting that income, how do I pay my bills, right? Then how do I shop at my stores? This is trickle-down economics. This is the trickle-down economics that everybody talks about. Oh, yeah, corporations shouldn't be paying taxes. It's going to trickle down to us. No, this is trickling down. This is trickling down. I have a lot of families who don't know how they're going to do this, because it's not like there's loads of jobs out there for people, right? We have a really tight job market right now. So there's very real people being affected by all of this. And I know MAGA doesn't fucking care, because they have no empathy. They have no souls. They don't give a shit until it impacts them. But I didn't vote for this. And 95% of the families I work for didn't vote for this. One of the families did, and then the mom tried to complain to me about the fact that Doge had such a big impact on her life, and now her son may not be able to come, and that's a bad thing because he's raised 2 whole reading levels in the year and a half that I've been working with him. And I looked at her and I shrugged my shoulders and I said, well, you voted for this, so I guess you're getting what you wanted. And she just said, okay. So all of this, it's impacting people on a very big level. And I don't think people understand that.
Okay, so Trump's new law just dropped, and federal employees are out here like, wait, I got bills to pay. Bro, 1 minute you're clocking in, thinking you've got job security, and the next you're Googling how to sell kidneys on Craigslist. Like, how am I supposed to explain to my landlord that rent's late because the government decided to play musical chairs with my paycheck? And don't even get me started on groceries. Ramen noodles are about to become my new best friend. If I survive this, I'm adding survivor of political chaos to my LinkedIn. Thanks, Trump. Are you affected by layoffs? Let us know in the comments. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss our next deep dive into the issues that matter. Until then, keep fighting. You've got this.